you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to some Broadway World over here on the Broadway Podcast Network. And you know, I really love TV shows, and I really love scandalous TV shows, and I really love actors that book scandalous TV shows. And I'm a hater about actors that book. No one's booked me on a scandalous TV show. Maybe I have to do a scene. Maybe I got to call our next guest the next time I have a self-tape. That will book me. I know it because our next guest has been booked on some of the best TV shows going on. When Tyler Perry calls you and says, you need to be on all my seasons, you got to be on my shows, you know you can act. If it's Young Dylan, if it's Ruthless, if it's television, if it's film, if it's... I want to know the whole scoop. Our next guest has been out here working. Now I got so nervous because I don't want to mess up her name. I practice. Not... You're here, and I'm going to give it a go. Are you ready?
Please.
You said it's French, so I'm going to try to channel the French. Nadège August.
Very close. The E is silent after Nadège. It's
Nadège.
Like, Nadège. Just Nadège.
Oh, with the vision. Oh, you give good face. You're really beautiful. My goodness gracious. I would book you if I had a TV show. You wouldn't even have to act. Just put you on my show.
Robert, let's do it.
Nadège August. Congratulations on an amazing year and all the work you've been doing.
Thank you. And I'm sure you know it's not an easy ride. No, it's not. And I don't know why anyone has yet to call you to have you on a scandalous show.
Well, you know, for you, I know for you, the journey as an actor is long and arduous. I mean, there's probably many monologues and sides that you have memorized of jobs that you did not get or got close to getting, and you grind and you keep going. But reading about you and your history, you come from tough family. You come from Brooklyn, New York. You know, I'm from Jersey, so I get you. You were raised in Haiti. You have tough lineage, and you're a fighter. You're gonna fight. Get this job.
Listen, at this point, I don't have a choice. Do I have a choice? I don't have a choice at this point. This is all I know how to do, sadly. And honestly, it helped that I never had a plan B.
This was it.
Was
it scary? When was the moment where you decided I'm going to be an actor? Like, it's one thing to do the school play. It's one thing to watch a TV show and go to the movies and like it. It's another thing to say, like, this is my livelihood. I'm going to do this as my profession.
You know, I don't even know how it happened. There wasn't a specific moment. There was just this inner knowing ever since I was a child that I had this need to express emotions that I was taught to repress. Yeah. So in my family, in my culture, children are seen, not heard. If you are punished, you just take it quietly. So yeah, you just take it quiet. No talking back. I got to tell you, when I first came back to the United States after being gone as a child, when my parents divorced, my mom traveled with my brother and I got back to Brooklyn and I was thrust in public school. I remember the first time I saw a student talk back at their teacher. I remember thinking, oh my God, you're gonna be in so much trouble. And then I saw there were no consequences. Mind blown, because in my day, in my culture, no, that did not happen.
Well, can we talk real talk then, if we're going to have this conversation?
Yes, please, let's.
So 8 days ago, I married my husband. Okay.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we have a lot of conversations in our house about the culture, his culture. You know, he's a Detroit pastor's son. And when I moved out here and I saw firstly, certain mamas out here don't play. And he will make fun of the way we are. And he will make fun of the way my brother and I were raised. Because he was like, my mother would have gone outside. She would have got that branch off that tree. She would have got but there is something to, you grow up and learn how to be, what's the word? Dedicated?
Respectful to your elders at whatever the cost. Now, it has value. Let me tell you, there was some serious merit to that. I will not trade that. The disadvantage, unfortunately, is that as I was growing up, I had to learn to separate when it was the right, appropriate to be disrespectful.
Right. There is a moment where you could stand up for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And it's still an ongoing struggle at times, but I feel like I've had to do it. Listen, being in this profession, you learn to develop tough skin. And that kind of circles us back to why I act. It's also this was an outlet, permission to express in ways that I would not be allowed to. Profanity not allowed. So guess what? Some characters can have the pottiest of the pottiest mouths, and I am free to do that because it's not Nadège. It's this character, and I'm doing exactly what the writers asked me to do.
And you do play some fun scandalous characters. I mean, we could talk about Joan over there at Ruthless and Darlene over there at Young Dylan and all of the. I hear that you could watch it, everybody. If you're not, what you should be watching these shows and be ready for the next season and keep the party rolling over there with these characters. For you, was there a moment where you felt a break? Was it your first role was a French speaking role? You speak French.
Right. Yeah.
Is this a way in? People always ask me about acting, and I say, you got to find your way to wiggle yourself in this business sometimes.
Yeah. I can't, I have to say, so the movie, The Brothers, was my very first union job. And that job came because, in fact, they wanted like a character who spoke French. And I found out when I booked the job, The Brothers, this was a movie with Shamar Moore. It was one of the very first movies like back in the day when Black romances were starting to hit the scene and it was becoming a thing. And I remember then talking to the director, Gary Hardwick. Actually, he volunteered to me that I got the job because, according to his DP, who happened to be French, they were reviewing the tapes of the auditions that the casting director sent over. And the DP was adamant that like none of these women spoke French except for her. Like she is the only authentic French speaker of the bunch. She gets the job. And he goes, you have to thank him for the job because he, as the director, wasn't quite sure he was going to go with me. But his DP was like, no, she's the one who speaks French.
And look, I mean, she beat me already. I butchered her beautiful, gorgeous name already today. That's why you got to give me French lessons. It worked out. Look, it got you your first big gig.
It did. And then guess what? Ever since, nothing much else happened since. It's the craziest thing. But it's my, when you think about what your ideal role would be, are you watching Étoile?
I'm not.
Okay, so Étoile is about the ballerinas. So basically the New York, you've heard of it.
Yes.
Okay, you would enjoy it. # life goal, got to be on that show because the actors switch from the French and English so seamlessly. It is a beautiful thing. And it speaks to how everyone else but us in this country speak other languages and English. So they will speak English with an accent, but they go in and out of it. It's just wonderful. So anyway, I don't want to promote them because
you're promoting you, but still, but I love that because when you go to other countries, people who don't travel say, well, you went to Greece. How did you get? They spoke English to me. They like other places get on it. For you, once you got the role, I mean, you look at your IMDb credits or you go to your bio and stuff. You've done a lot of television work. You've done a lot of film work. You've done stage work. You do podcast work. Like you have done all the different things. You're an actor's actor. So see, hey, come on, awards.
Outstanding supporting actress, Desert Theater League for the play Good People.
Stage actor.
Winning.
Literally, and the Coachella Valley rep and all of the work that you've done and all of the things and NAACP nominations for productions of Desire Under the Elms and all this stuff. When you do television, I find TV fascinating because if you're not an actor, television kind of has a hierarchy. People, they're background actors, there's guest stars, there's under fives, there's recurring roles, there's regulars. What was the journey like for you to get noticed in television and now to build your career up to where now you can be on, the cast of a television show season after season? Because I know you had to put in the work.
Yeah, I had to put in the work. So of course I came from New York, right? So I got my master's through the actor studio program. And at the time, New York was saturated with Broadway musicals. And I don't sing and I'm not a trained dancer where I could make a career out of it. It was either that, commercials, and soap operas, right?
Okay.
Those were my only options at the time. And so my agent said, listen, Chica, if you don't sing, you don't dance, you need to get to LA. I fought the good fight, but I got to do some commercials in New York, got my toes wet, got a one-liner here and there, and a couple of shows, the rare shows, the soaps, and then made my way to LA. Now, there should be a hierarchy where you start with co-star, and co-star is 5 lines or under, and then you become a guest star where the storyline is you. You're the one whose husband murders you or something, or murdered someone you know. And, the cops get to solve the crime, the procedurals, right? You're the guest star, you bring in the problem. Their job is to fix it around you, right?
Yes.
Then you get on with your life. Or then you can become a storyline that has 5 episodes. So you get an arc, but then you don't have a contract, boo-boo. You're out after those episodes. And then the holy grail, of course, is to be that regular person, one of the people who fixes problems.
Yes.
Well, as luck would have it for me, it was interesting. My very first sitcom here in LA was Malcolm and Eddie. It was a Malcolm Jamal Warner and Eddie Griffin sitcom. And that was a guest star. I was Eddie Griffin's girlfriend. It was fun. It was 1 week. I was out. So I didn't quite go through the co-star, just 5 lines, and then guest star. That hierarchy kind of disappeared. Why? Because there was that writer's strike in 2008 where suddenly all the stars decided, like the Julia Roberts and stuff, they're like, we're doing television. So they took away the guest star roles from the journeyman. Oh yeah. That's something that hurt Hollywood a lot. Suddenly, those of us who could make a living as guest star, the big stars were coming on, getting more money, pushing us, forcing us to become co-stars.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit of Hollywood history. We forget. Yeah. And then because they were scared too, for whatever reason. Anyway, fast forward. I don't know that the playing field has leveled out much, but with the advent around that time of all these streaming platforms, there became, I guess, more work.
Mm-hmm.
Although we still see the same 10 people. And so anyway, so that opened things up a little bit, leveled off the playing field ever so slightly, but it's not great. It's not, it's not what it used to be. So there isn't a hierarchy anymore, as we can see, because influencers now can become
literally get a movie. Get a movie.
So with me, the Ruthless came about because I was a recurring guest star on Ruthless. It started out that way. I had 20 episodes. I was going to die at the end and move on. No more Joan. Yeah. And this was during the height of COVID. Got the job through a self-tape. And this was when self-tapes were starting and people weren't good at it. You didn't know, but they had to put up with whatever you had because you couldn't leave your house. I remember hanging a sheet on a wall because my walls were white and that wasn't going to work. So I nailed some sheets as my backdrop and put my camera up, did my audition. I had a friend reading lines via Zoom, put it next to the phone. There you go. Sent it off and the rest is history. So I get to do this job. They shoot the death scene. I go home so grateful, just knowing that I finally got to experience what it's like to be in several episodes, to have a beginning and an end, and I was good. I got on with my life. That summer of 2021, I get a call from the president of the Tyler Perry Studios. And he said, Mr. Perry has been watching the dailies. He's been so impressed with what you've done with this character. And he'd like to ask you if you'd be interested in continuing on. I'm like, are you kidding me? Would I be interested? Let me think about it. No, of course I'm interested. Hello. And just like that, you know what he did? He has the autonomy, being the president of his own studio. He gets to make all the decisions. All he did was scrap that death scene. And we picked up where I did not die. And I became a series regular. And here we are, season 5.
Season 5, everybody.
I came on season 2, so I've been on for 3 seasons now.
Season 5, all season 5 episodes are currently streaming on BET Plus.
And also Prime. You don't have to do BET Plus. You can go to Prime, Amazon. You can see it too.
And this show loves everybody over there at BET and BET Plus. And we love Amazon, but we love DRF from Detroit because I'm in Detroit right now. We love all the BET Plus shows because I love the entertainment. They give me joy and the good juice and the good scoop. And you had a crazy arc this season. It was juicy.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a show about a cult. Okay. Yeah. Hello. And the leader of the cult, Mike Daniel, he is fine. That's why he can get away with so much. Listen, he's got body for days.
Well, that cult leader, you got to be dynamic to get you to follow a cult. You got to get in there somehow.
Right? So yeah, no, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah. And so my character's Joan. I am the accountant of said cult leader, kind of like one of the right-hand people of the cult leader. And guess what? I get to help him embezzle cash, and maybe I'm taking a little bit on the side for myself because, when you get out, a girl's got to eat.
Joan needs some money too. She can't be.
You've been in a cult?
No. Please, no cult for me. But I love what it says when it says a scandalous religious cult of powerful sex-crazed fanatics. When you talk about the press release, if that doesn't sell a television show, people, this is it.
Yeah.
So you look forward, season 5 is out. People can stream it now. And then the talk about more seasons and the talk about working at the studio. Does working for Tyler Perry Studios, have you had a different experience working there at a studio with him that he runs versus the other? Is it as nice a place to work as people say?
It is very nice. Everyone is just committed to the work. I was fortunate because Tyler Perry wrote, directed, and produced the first 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. And then season 4 and 5, he abandoned us. Mr. P, if you're watching, you abandoned us. Yeah, so we have a writer's room for season 4 and had various directors. Had a director, actually one director who directed all the episodes, but different writers. And also for season 5, a different writer, different director. So the show actually has taken on even more colors. It's more nuanced. And so yeah, Mr. P is off doing his Netflix thing now. He's got to deal with them. The studio is lovely. I love where I live, which is Los Angeles. I get to go to Atlanta for work. And let me just say, that is enough time for me there. I am not humidity girl. I love
your LA, nice weather there.
Yeah. I'd just as soon go to Jersey or Brooklyn to work.
Absolutely. We're here with
Robert, opportunities are abound for you soon. Jersey, so many productions now, and right?
Netflix building their studio in Jersey, and all of the studios are coming to those tax credits make a difference, and they're going to help people work. I love actors to work, but also crew and just give people jobs in these studios is amazing.
It is. It really is. And so, hey, maybe I might end up on your side of
you can come. I'll take you to lunch, dinner. You can hang out on my couch anytime. I got a guest room. And
I get to meet your husband.
Darius is way good time. He's a good time. So for you, when we talk about all the other things that you do to be an artist, you also have created and produced and hosted your podcast, What the Fockery.
That's right.
You have a web series called Bougie Dilemmas, which is on YouTube. What are these extra projects that are you created?
Yeah, creative people need to have an outlet somehow. And also, we don't need to wait for someone to give us permission. Now, having said that, it's not as easy as it sounds when you are doing everything. So first, it was Bougie Dilemma. It's a web series about a delusional optimist, someone who's, let's just say that she has a champagne and caviar taste, but her finances are more like beer and one peanut, that's all she can do. So
I've been there before.
We've all been there. If you're an actor, we all know about that. Fockery. So Bougie Dilemma is about just that. Like, you're a bougie at heart, but there's a real dilemma with your finances and everything else and everyone else around you. So I shot 3 episodes, put out my own money, got into debt doing that as proof of content. And the goal was to shop it around too, so that it could hopefully become a series that someone else picks up and takes care of, right? Well, that didn't quite happen, and that's okay. So what I've done is, although I have 12 episodes written, YouTube, have at it. People can watch it, enjoy it. Apparently, lots of people go watch it. I forget it's there because I don't check anymore. Fast forward to the next thing, podcasts. And What the Fockery was born out of my own curiosity about things, right? I used to be an avid reader. To give you an example, when I was moving, I donated 375 books that I owned and purchased to the public library in Glendale, California, because they were renovating and they didn't have enough books. And I said, please have at it. I still have about 125 books for myself. It's an addiction. I couldn't just borrow a book. I had to own it. So I've decided now, curb my enthusiasm. I borrow from the library. I return it. And also whenever I needed to know something, I had to read about it. And I realized, wait a minute, just go ask the people. Go, hey, what is this that you're into? Come sit with me, explain it. So it was perfect. During the height of COVID, everyone wanted to talk to me. I mean, I know more about useless things than you care to know, from the sexy to the naughty to the obscure, abstract things like numismatic arts. Do you know what numismatic arts are?
No.
Thank you. Go to What the Fockery, you'll find out. So yeah, it's those people who design money. They design paper, currency, and coins. That is, an artist actually creates currency for countries.
That's amazing because, you don't even think about all the jobs people have, the different companies that are out there.
Right?
We need people like you to do because you give us the answers.
Yeah, numismatic art. See, I can't even say it. It's such an odd numismatic arts, anyway, whatever that is. It's spelled correctly in there, and I did pronounce it correctly in that episode.
The Fockery is what you can, and it's available on podcast, wherever podcast.
You can find it on Spotify. Now, the thing with What the Fockery too is I've had to put it on pause because it's gotten harder to find people who are free now and have free time. And it's almost as if, I don't want to say I ran out of Fockeries to discuss, but you can only talk about, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And so it's going to come back because I have a lot of people who are like, when is that coming back? Because this is how I start my What the Fockery podcast. Hello, my lovers, my puppies, my kittens, my schmuppies. Hi. And then I go on about,
This is something that I need to check. I'm going to add it to my queue to listen to podcasts when I'm working out at the gym or driving in the car. This is the show for you. So we could watch this. We could watch the web series on YouTube for free. We can listen to your podcast for free wherever you listen to podcasts on Spotify. We can now get your television. We can get Ruthless. We don't even have to get the BET Plus app. You can, but you can get it. You can stream it. All 5 seasons are out right now. We can be streaming all of the seasons of the show.
That's right.
So we can have a whole Nadège August marathon.
Yes, we can. And the thing with the What the Fockery podcast, as you said, you can literally just scroll and decide, what topic do I feel like listening about? Oh, listen, and I know we're probably wrapping up soon. The most salacious episode. One of my top favorites. Do you guys know the Barney? Remember Barney? We grew up with Barney, didn't we? Remember Barney, the purple dinosaur? Well, the man who gets in that costume, turns out now he does something where, let's just say, he teaches women how to enjoy themselves sexually.
The guy in the Barney costume?
Mm-hmm. He refers to, he calls himself he's like the goddess whisperer or something goddessy.
How am I going to say this well, we don't have to be PG here, but I'm trying to be respectful to you because you are a classy person. he helps them with himself, or he teaches them how to do it by themselves? Okay.
Yeah, a combo.
I know the first
Yes.
episode I'm going to listen to.
Please find it.
How did you do the research for that? There's not a book about that. I mean, there's lots of books about that, but not a book about him.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. Here's the other thing about being so personable. I love talking to people. And I have this, for whatever reason, I can get right into, what's your fockery? I literally tell people, so, okay, what the fuck are you into? This is how I talk to people.
The New York
as classy as I am, I say, what the fuck are you into?
I was into that whole New York moment that I just saw. That was,
oh yeah, that's right.
What the fuck are you into?
Oh,
hey.
Brooklyn in the head. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. No. So I met him randomly. And okay, so I was getting in my car. A really nice car pulled up. You know, the swag. You know, that whole flashy thing that men tend to do in LA. And he approaches me, and we start chatting. It was friendly. We're going into the same building, and then he tells me who he is. And I said, that's interesting, because what are you here to do? I said, well, I'm here to interview someone for my podcast. Because at the time I used to go to people and
got it.
The interviews before COVID made us go remote. And he goes, oh, that's interesting. He's like, I could be on your podcast. And I kind of went, oh yeah, really? What's your fockery? And he explained it. And he said, I used to be Barney, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Barney. He goes, yeah. And his name is David Joyner. It's not a secret. I mean, you can go on Instagram, find him. He has that whole fockery. David Joyner is the man who is inside of the Barney body. And, you know, he has goddesses that pay him to, yeah, it's a whole fockery. And it's not illegal. So that's that. So yeah, go listen to that episode, folks, if y'all want to know. I could go, I don't know it off the top of my head. So altogether, I have something like 79 episodes.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
79 episodes. So you probably have to scroll and just look for what that sounds like. Gosh, I named it something fun. Yeah. And I think he was actually offering me his services, but I was like, I got to pay for this? Get the hell out of here. Sorry.
It's just on his Wikipedia page, it says David Joyner, outside of acting, works as a tantric massage therapist.
Tantric massage. So that's the title of that episode. That's right. Tantric massage therapy is what he calls it. Yeah. You ever heard of tantric massage as a therapy?
Well, as do you. I'm not leaving you $250 for this. No, thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Sir, I can tantric myself. Thank you.
Take your Barney suit and get out. But you know, there's someone that's their thing, and I'm not shaming them. Good for them.
Oh, listen. This cookie is smart. I went one step further. I said, prove to me that you have a goddess. Get me one of your recipients, your clients, your friends. Get them to talk to me. And I actually interviewed not one, but two of his clients. They sounded super happy.
Apparently.
Yeah, one was a traveling nurse. And the other, I forget what she said she did.
Oh, you're my kind of people, because you're entertaining. You see, you're a good storyteller because you tell it in a funny way with all the extra ... innuendo fun. It's fun. So I'm sure this podcast is fun. I was stuck looking at his picture. He's not a young man.
No, he's not.
God bless.
He's not exactly.
No. So he's not running a cult, is what she's saying. And listen,
listen, he's got the makings. Let me tell you, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if one day I found out he went that route.
people will do a lot of things for that
Mhm.
elusive moment.
But those two ladies were incredibly happy. Like the joy they describe, I was just like, oh my God.
you know, this is why you do interviews and when I started to talk to you, I would have never thought that our conversation about Ruthless, which you could stream right now, a season 5 seasons with you in it, would have brought us to Barney, the dinosaur tantric massage sex therapist.
Dude, right? That's a show right there.
That is a show. That is, a story, a television show about a children's character who, when out of costume, is y'all.
If your writers listening, do not steal this story.
Don't steal this. This is our show. How can we follow you and stay up to date with you on social media or wherever you are in the world?
Oh my goodness. So I am Bougie Dilemma, the name of my web series, on Instagram. Of course, if you type in Nadège August, you'll find me as well. Please follow there because lots of exciting things are about to pop for me that I'll be sharing. So yeah, Instagram, at Bougie Dilemma. TikTok, also Bougie Dilemma. So I try to keep that name all across the board. As always, you type in Nadège August, it should be me. There's
It is
only
you.
one.
Well, I'm excited to hear that there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I can't wait for you to have that all announced. We'll be following you. And then when you have more stuff to talk about, you want to chat about it, I hope you come here and talk to us about it.
Yeah. And how's the weather in Detroit?
Today it's hot. And you wouldn't like it. But it was cold as hell here. And everyone says, but you're from New Jersey and New York. I live in Fort Lee. I was a mile from New York City. I said, no, it's cold here.
Yeah,
and it's
very cold. Yeah.
Cold. And it snows like 6 inches and everyone's like, oh, well. And I'm like, close school. Where's the plow? Salt the road. No one cared. No one cares.
Yeah. Do you get to Canada much? Because there's just a little bridge walk.
A little bridge right over the Detroit River. And I have not, in 9 months, I have not gone yet.
Okay, that's fine. I got to go to Detroit twice for work. It was to shoot a commercial, which was fun. And that's a beautiful city. I mean, I got to there when they were doing the downtown Detroit renovation. What an exciting place to be. It's beautiful. Is it still like happening?
It is. Downtown is gorgeous. It is really up and coming. All of the storefronts, all of the city, all of the new things that are the arenas, the stadiums, the restaurants. They have put so much money and effort into rebuilding Detroit. And now everyone, when I moved here, it was like back in the day when you would say you were going to Harlem. Growing up, in 1980s, you would not go to Harlem. If I told my parents I was going to Harlem, they would be like, same here. Now you go to Harlem and it's, the gays and dogs and Detroit is the hot and popping place. It's where come on over. Come on.
No, I enjoyed it so much. But I love my home and I love traveling, but I specifically love traveling for work. Why? Because I'm one of these people whose mind's always churning. If after 3 days of chillaxing, by the third day, I'm like, I'm a sloth. I'm lazy. I'm the worst human. I'm a loser. Why am I just laying around doing nothing? I do not know how to relax. Okay. I do not. So I like traveling for work because as I'm working, I get to visit a city on my 1 or 2 day off. And that's plenty for me.
I get you. That's terrible. I'm the same. Even my wedding week, I told him no interviews, no work. And I really followed it. But the second the wedding was over, I took 2 days. And then I was like, all right, what's next for me? Got to keep going. When's the next? Let's book.
I know.
What date? Are you I'm a Scorpio.
I'm a Virgo.
September-ish.
Yes. And you're October, November?
October. So, Nadège, I like you.
I like you too, Robert.
Thank you. I'm going to listen to your podcast and I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to send you a message.
Please do. And by all means, of course, you'll let me know when I can start sharing with everyone that please go listen to this episode.
Yes, please. Done. You got it. You're home now. You're family now. I'm going to watch Tantric Massage Therapist Barney right away off the bat. That's number one.
Yes, please.
And Ruthless. And to my family, my in-laws out here in Detroit who love all things Tyler Perry, they already watch you. So make sure everybody's out here watching Ruthless and staying up to speed and date and all of that.
Okay. So I like your husband and his family already.
Come hang out. We'll take you for a coney dog. I don't eat them, but we'll take you somewhere out here in Detroit.
Oh, good restaurants. I feel like
Yes.
I had some really good meals in Detroit.
I'm going to keep gaining weight here. I said, do they have kale here? Is there a smoothie shop? Please. No. Fry everything. Just fry it.
Yeah. Might as well be in the South, which is so weird.
That's true.
Right?
Yes. So true. Much love. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and pleasure. Mwah. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. You're so much fun.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. And follow me all over the world.
Follow. Links below.
IMDb also. That's fun. That's another way to keep track.